Redditors with so's who talk in their sleep. What is the creepiest thing they've said? I come in to go to bed. Lay down and I'm about to turn the bedside lamp off. Cue him turning over. Eyes still shut. Obviously still asleep. Don't turn the light off. I'm confused now. Why? They need to see. Now I'm freaking out wondering who is in our bedroom that I haven't noticed. Who needs to see? The bugs. Why do the bugs need to see? To read. This happened months ago and I still haven't let it go. I mean, it makes sense. You don't want to be responsible for undereducated bugs in your house, do you? My mother loves to still bring this story up. Happened back during my 8th grade year of school. One morning she walked in to see if I was awake. So she asked, "Are you awake?" To which I apparently said, "I don't know. Is it meteors or while dead asleep?" I apparently shouted for my mum at the middle of the night, and when she came running apparently all I said was, "Those pineapples. Those pineapples." I have no idea why I suddenly got passionate about a fruit. Woke up to go to the bathroom one night. As I move to get up, my boyfriend goes, "Don't go out there." Thinking he's awake and joking with me, I go, "Oh yeah. Why?" He sits upright, eyes wide open, and goes out there. And flopped back down asleep. I held it for the rest of the night. Lol, I'd have done the same thing. My GF will walk to a window and say they are watching us and just look at street lamp. First time it was really creepy. Now I just say it's bedtime and likely pull her back to bed before she stands up. Initially he just mumbled something I couldn't understand. I turned around to face him and asked him what he had said. He responded in his sleep, "Don't worry about it," and then laughed in this villainous way that I've never heard him use while awake. It honestly creeped me out. I talk in my sleep. And my girlfriend told me this story after we woke up. I had evidently turned toward her, shook her with my face, and yelled, "They took my goddamn arms, Johnny," before slumping back over and going back to sleep. I was told by my so that I said, "Give her a lobotomy. Right through the temple." I hope your so is not a neurosurgeon, because I'm pretty sure through the temple is the scenic route to lobotomy. I'm not sure what's more terrifying than your so sitting upright and saying they're here only to collapse back into their deep slumber. Apparently your 21-year-old daughter knocking on your adjoining wall whispering, "Mum, I they're back." I was the 21-year-old and my mum threw an absolute fit at me and made me sleep in another room for a week. My fiancée is super active while sleeping. It used to bother me, but now I'm used to it. One time I asked her to give me her pillow while she was sleeping and she said, "Okay," and then pulled it out from under her head and threw it at me. She slept the rest of the night without a pillow and was quite pissed when she woke without a pillow, and after I told her what she did. My so frequently moves around the pillow and the covers when she's asleep, often resulting in her not having a pillow and not letting me put one under her. The first time she did it, she called me a snake for stealing the pillows. I'm still not sure if she fully believes that it's not me. I talk in my sleep regularly. One instance comes to mind. My so said she was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. On her way back, I said, "It's following you," and went back to sleep. I think this is the scariest I've read on here. Imagine sleepily going back to bed while you hear it's following you. I would not sleep again that night. I'm the sleep talker, but the best I've ever been told about was, no, none of them have heads. My husband sleep talks, and my favorite was when he told me to close a ticket. He was an IT manager, and I told him I didn't work for him. Then he yelled at me to get it done. I said, "You're a mean boss," and went back to sleep. I've got so many and should write them down, but I'm so used to it by now. And I'm not the sleep talker, but I once woke myself and him up by yelling, "The power of Christ compels you." I had been having a very vivid nightmare about seeing a black entity floating in our bedroom by the bathroom door. In my dream, I woke my husband up and we turned the lights on, chasing it down the hallway because we didn't want whatever it was to hurt our daughter. As we were chasing it away, I was yelling, "The power of Christ compels you," and I woke up screaming it. Thing is that I'm not particularly religious, and that's not really something I would say at all. It was so bizarre. I've only had a dream that realistic a couple times in my life. Not my so, but my roommate said this in his sleep at 4 AM. Are you texting demons? Oddly high-pitched laugh. You are friends with demons. My GF fell out with me while she was sleeping one night. She asked me to pass the light up picture frame, and when I asked her what she was talking about, she shouted, "Fine, I'll get it myself," and actually started walking about the room looking for something. It's not really creepy, but I don't get a chance to tell the story often. Did she ever find the light up picture frame? If not, you should buy one for her as a gift. Not 100% a talking in her sleep story, but when my so is stressed, she has dreams about spiders crawling everywhere. One night I was reading and she was asleep. She suddenly sat up and just stared at me. I asked her, "What's up?" "So, the spiders." Me, "What spiders?" "So, there are spiders coming out of the poster." "Me, there are no spiders." "So, no, the spiders." "Me, go back to sleep." Then she just collapsed back into her pillow, back asleep. When she first sat up and stared at me, I thought this was suddenly a horror movie and I was dead. She started shaking me and yelling that the financial reports don't match. She's an accountant. I apparently did the same thing to my partner once while taking a financial management course at university. Except I had also recently kayaked with dolphins. So not only was I stressing about financial reports in my sleep, they were reports for the dolphins. And from the sounds of it, the dolphins weren't happy. My dad used to have dreams about cranes when he was a crane operator. He would use my mom's arm as the controls for his crane dreams. Oh, I feel this as a fellow accountant. My girlfriend will do this every so often. But this one time she was having a really bad nightmare and she just straight up screamed at the top of her lungs right into my face. I woke up with an adrenaline rush that is still my closest guess for what cocaine feels like. I woke her up by stroking her hair and whispering to her that it would be okay. And she thanked me the next morning. Sorry, that must have been terrifying in the moment, but I can't stop laughing trying to visualize this scenario, hahaha. Not my so, but still kinda funny but very scary at the time. So little me had a nightmare and went to my parents' room to tell my mom and get a cuddle so I could go back to sleep. I knocked on the door and opens it very quietly so only my mom wakes and not my dad. Since mom is a very light sleeper and dad a heavy one. I get in and at that moment dad jumps out of bed and shouts, "I do not want to see you here again." I fled up the stairs and cried, and mom followed me and told me she didn't know what happened either. Dad says he doesn't remember it, but I sure do. Well, at least I don't have Alzheimer's. She's acting like a bee. Of course I stole her Valium. Were you missing Valium? My girlfriend, now wife, and I were sleeping in my bed in college. Due to not being able to control the temperature in my room, which was kept at a tropical 105 degrees despite it being a brutal winter, we always slept with the window open and my bedroom door cracked for circulation. I also lived on the ground floor apartment of a brownstone in Boston. In the dead middle of the night, she starts smacking me. "GF babe. Babe." I startle awake. "What?" "GF," whispers, "there's someone standing in the doorway." Muffled whimpers. Adrenaline starts pumping. I prepare to fight the intruder. I quickly scan the room for something to make an impromptu weapon out of. Finally my eyes adjust to the dark. I'm fully awake and I see that no one is actually there. Me, no there isn't. You're sleeping. GF muffled laughing. She had zero recollection of the entire incident the next morning. I had to recount to her how she almost made me crap my pants in the middle of the night. Not so, but my son came into my room while I was napping and I said, "We need to decapitate them and take them back to the lab." You're not actually his parents. He's a kid genius who made robot parents to replace his real parents after the accident. I guess there must be another kink in the memory replacement process. This is like the third batch he's replaced this week. I thought she was awake, but we were laying in bed last week and this is how it went. GF, I'm gonna sh myself. Me, what? No, go to the bathroom. GF, I'm gonna sh the bed. Me, why don't you go to the bathroom if you've got a poop? GF, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm trying to make these trees grow. Just shut up. This is when I realized she was sleeping and started laughing hysterically, which made her angry. She didn't remember any of it the next morning. Not so much creepy as it is odd. But I overheard my wife accurately recite my social security number aloud whilst sleeping. When I told her about it the next morning, she said I had to have been making that up, as she definitely does not know my social security number. I didn't believe her and made her swear to me and on our marriage that she wasn't lying. And she said that if someone was pointing a gun to my head and that he would pull the trigger unless she accurately recited my social security number. She'd tell me she loved me and that she'd remember me fondly once I died. It was the oddest thing. I think it's possible that she may have seen the numbers briefly at one point, but doesn't consciously remember them. We supposedly dream with faces of people we've seen in our lives, even if they were random strangers we've passed by in the street and never given a second thought to. So maybe it's registered in her subconscious but not her conscious memory? Wild women everywhere. My girlfriend. I'll have what she's having. My wife doesn't talk in her sleep, but I did wake up once to her sitting up, leaning over me and staring at me Paranormal Activity style. It was terrifying, and she has no recollection of it. I woke up to my wife screaming the most horrifying blood-curdling scream I'd ever heard. Something made her wake up, and in the faint moonlight that was seeping in through a gap in the curtain stood a small figure less than a foot from her face. It was our son wanting a drink, but he had decided to stand next to her head like a mannequin until noticed. My brother. Not my so. When we were little we had rooms across the hall from each other and I'm a terrible sleeper, so I was randomly awake one night. Walking back from the bathroom I hear him shout at the top of his lungs. "AMA. Don't touch my pumpkin." It was February. I honestly started keeping track of the weirder things conversations we've had that she remembers nothing of. The 25th of November she wakes up. "So fish sticks?" Clear and loud. "Me fish sticks? What do you mean? So are you making fish sticks?" Me, "Yes, I'm making fish sticks." "So okay." Goes back to sleep. Sleeping wife. "Why is the dog barking?" Me, "We don't have a dog." Wife, "Yes we do. And he's in the kitchen barking." Me, "Okay." Wife, "Go see why he's barking." Me, after a little more argument about whether or not we have a dog, walks to kitchen and back to bedroom. Wife, "Where did you go?" Me, "I went to the kitchen to check on the dog." Wife, "But we don't have a dog." This is like my GF. She'll wake up and say something totally nonsensical, like "Don't trust the toast people." I'll be like, "Oh yeah. And who are they?" "You know. The toast people." "The who?" Getting annoyed. Toast. Realizes she's been dreaming. Oh. Never mind. I posted this in a similar thread months ago, but it's relevant. Same house. Same bedroom. Different women. 5 years apart. First woman, we are asleep in bed and she takes this huge, deep breath that wakes me up. Then she says they are here now and want to speak to you. I'm going to let them use me. So, of course, I wake her up violently like WTF. All she can tell me is that she saw several shadowy people in her dream who told her that they had a message for me but needed her to talk to me. Okay. Second woman, we are asleep together and the same thing happens. Deep, long breath that wakes me up, except this time she screams there are people in this room with us. I get her calmed down by assuring her that we were alone. She never sleeps over again. I sell the house. Lol. I was rearranging my pillow nest in the middle of the night and he must have felt threatened. Whoa whoa whoa, no, whoa, put those down, whoa whoa please no. Some other delightful experiences. Him, barks loudly like an aggressive ferocious dog. Me, wake up completely due to mini heart attack and scream. Him, whine softly like a chastised dog. Me, it's okay. Go back to sleep. Him, me, falling back asleep. Him, no, you go back to sleep. Me, just lie down. Him, goes from a 90-degree angle to a 45-degree angle and his sleeping self pretends to be asleep and in doing so achieves true meter status. Me, I know you're not lying down properly. Him, yes I am. Me, K whatever. Soft creepy laughter and then immediately propping up at a 90-degree angle saying, It's a LLL part of the show. Then going back to sleep. I was laughing at something in a dream once and it creeped out my girlfriend, so she shook me and asked why I was laughing. I answered the purple people as I was waking up, which freaked her out more. The dream had people with weird skin colors and clothes. And in the moment nothing in the world was funnier to me than a purple man in a turquoise suit standing next to a turquoise man in a purple suit. I had trouble explaining that while I was conscious. I've told this on here before, but my husband is out of control with his sleep talking. You almost can't call it sleep talking, because you would swear this M-fair knows exactly what he's doing. It isn't just talking. He gets up out of bed, will literally be walking around the house doing things like he's totally aware. Could hold a full conversation with you. It takes a minute to realize whether he's awake or not. He's so sure of himself. So probably the scariest thing was one night we're knocked out. It has to be like 3 AM. And his big A bolts out of bed like I've never seen in my life, waking me up and frantically yelling, "We have to go now. We have to get out of here. Follow me. Hurry up." I literally go into full panic mode and start trying to grab things and get my dogs, all while trying to ask him WTF is going on. But he's so serious about this that I just trust that there must be something bad happening. Within a minute or so I noticed that as frantic as he was walking around, he wasn't really doing anything, just kind of going in circles. At that point it clicked that he wasn't really awake. I had been woken up from a dead sleep too, obviously, so I started saying his name over and over and telling him it was okay. And he kind of just snapped out of it and was like, "Oh, sorry about that." Definitely was freaked TF out for a minute there though. I remember one night I was on a school trip. We were visiting a shipyard in the 5th or 6th grade. We were all sleeping in bunks at the prow bow of the ship, stacked 3 high. One of the kids was known for having night terrors, as they had happened at other sleepovers and such out of school. I'm a notorious insomniac, so naturally I was up with another bunkmate of mine and we were playing cards. This kid was on the 3rd bunk up and all of a sudden leaped off. These bunks are 3 high. You have a climb down. This kid jumps down like 8 feet, lands like a cat and bolts for the bathroom. One of the teachers woke up and saw this and got up to make sure he was okay. The kid was dead asleep the whole time and once properly awakened apologized and climbed back into bed. Was wild to see. Too many Asians here. I'm Asian. How'd that conversation in the morning go? I'm Asian. That's not the kind of thing you should keep a secret from your so.